Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where you can come and get caught up on some of the latest news involving our Cleveland Browns, but then also get a 10-minute take along the way. If you can, please like this episode, like all of the episodes if you don't mind, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes. But also, if you can, throw those comments down there in that comment section. I love to hear what you guys think about our Cleveland Brownies. Coming up on the show today, we'll talk about some of the undrafted free agents the Browns picked up. And I'll tell you what, there's one guy they're talking about that could have an immediate impact for the Brownies. We will talk about it. Also, we'll let you know why we think the Shedeur Sanders prank call was the best thing that ever happened to him. And how about this? There are two veteran wide receivers on the free agent market that I think the Browns should really consider signing, but for two completely different reasons. And then also, I know we just finished the 2025 NFL draft, but if you step back and look at what's coming in the 2026 NFL draft for the Browns, you will be pleasantly surprised. But the first thing we got to talk about is the undrafted free agents that are coming in. And let's start with the offense, and then we'll get to the defense, because there's a guy they say that could really help the pass rush, and Myles Garrett. But let's do this. Let's get through the running. There's a running back they signed on the offensive side, Amari Marshall from Appalachian State. Everybody who's looking for wide receiver help, Gage Larvadane from South Carolina. He's smaller, though. He's 5'9", 180 pounds. Another tight end, Eli Wilson from Appalachian State. Big target, 6'3", 240. How about this, though? An offensive tackle, Jason Ivey. Good size, 6'5", 285. A little thin for a tackle, but North Carolina A&T is where he's from. And then how about this guy? Offensive guard, D'Artagnan Tinsley. For a guard, he's out of Cincinnati. 6'4", 320 pounds, so he is a big boy. On a defensive side, they signed a safety, Donovan McMillan, 6'2", 205 out of Pitt. Cornerback, Dom Jones, he's 6'3", 195, one of those long, lengthy cornerbacks. He's coming from Colorado State. And then another cornerback, Lamarion James, 5'10", 190 from TCU. But the guy everybody's talking about is this defensive tackle who they call an edge rusher. His name is Aiden Huntington, and he's only 6'1", 281, and he's out of Tulane. Here's the thing. His size is the only question. It's probably why he went undrafted. But he's been at 3 different schools, including Kent State. So he's familiar with Ohio. But his best season came at Louisiana Monroe in 2023. He racked up 63 tackles and 16 tackles for loss, but also had 8.5 sacks. So he's a bit of a sack master, even though his size, you don't really attribute that to a defensive end or an edge. So, but anyway, he's 6 feet, 6'1", 260, and so his weight is more of a concern, I think, when you're looking at edge rushers, especially now the game is played so fast. But they're saying Aiden Huntington could be the guy that also provides a little bit of help to Myles Garrett on the defensive line. Now, one of the things that everybody has been talking about since the draft is Shedeur Sanders, the slide down the NFL draft board, but also the prank. And so here's the thing, folks. This could be really the best thing that has ever happened to him. Now, the slide, first of all, like when you read through it, everybody say, it was the interviews probably. Like he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in the interviews. But the thing is, all of these same people and these talent evaluators, they're all saying they were stunned that he fell out of the first round, and then out of the second round, and out of the third round. Do I sound like LeBron now? Not 1, not 2, not 3. LeBron. Anyway, even they were surprised that he fell as far as he did. A lot of them had him graded, first round talent. And so anyway, so that's why the Browns had to make this move. But here's the thing. The prank happens, right? And so Jax Ulbrich, who is the Falcons coach's son, he makes that call and pranks Shedeur, tells him the Saints were going to take him. But here's the thing. He writes this apology on Instagram, this Ulbrich kid. And to me, what stood out of this whole big, long apology that he posted, this one sentence is what we should care about. He said to Shedeur, he said, Thank you for accepting my call earlier today. So, this just shows you, and I think this is a little bit of Deion's impact too. Okay, you could go off the rails, you could get all upset, even on the tape. I mean, I know he knows he has cameras on him, but he didn't flip out. He just kind of took it in stride. But this is going to be a big part of that maturation process for him, and I think it's going to just do so much for him, not only off the field but on the field. And I think it shows you a little bit that I think he really learned from this experience, and I think the Browns will definitely be the ones who benefit the most. So again, if these talent evaluators are right, folks, the Browns just picked up a first-round talent in the 5th round. So it remains to be seen. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with the value. And then I also think you cannot argue with the lesson that he should have learned from all of this. And so the good thing is he's coming to us, and he can build on it from here with us. And then hopefully it ends in a Super Bowl for the Cleveland Browns. Now, speaking of Super Bowls, there are a couple of veteran wide receivers on the market. And when I looked at the list, I thought, man, but these two jumped out at me. Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper. Here's the thing. Here's why I like each of those guys. Completely different reasons. I like Keenan Allen because, honestly, he was with Chicago last year, and he still had a really good year with a terrible quarterback. Caleb Williams was all over the place. Still caught 70 balls for 744 yards, 7 touchdowns in 15 games. So Allen, even though, he seems like he's been in the league for 100 years. He's 32. I know, the 30-year-old wide receiver thing. I get it. But he's been around for 11 years. A lot of veteran experience. And I'll tell you what, he could be a guy that you add to the mix of this, wide receiver group. And, with Flacco there, or whoever. It's going to be Flacco at first. But I just think that Keenan Allen is a guy that could help. But then I said, wait a minute, Amari Cooper. Do you remember what Cooper and Flacco did together a couple of years ago? And so you look at that, and Cooper just never hit it off with Josh Allen, for whatever reason. But the thing is, he really hit it off with Joe Flacco, and that offense was singing with him in it. And so again, Cooper's 30, so you get he's 2 years younger than Keenan Allen. But man, oh man, he's sitting out there. If I'm the Browns, unless there's something we don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't consider that. And so, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, both sitting out there. And for all of us who are concerned about the wide receiver room, that could be some immediate help. If you could get one, maybe you get both of them in here. Pair them with Jerry Jeudy. Pair them with Jerry Jeudy. Not a bad room if you don't think Tillman or Thrash or some of these other guys are going to. I love David Bell, so I'm not going to throw David Bell out to the backyard. No, I do. I think Bell catches everything. I think he's a great receiver. But anyway, Allen and Cooper, I think, could be great additions to the Browns wide receiver room. And we're going to end on this, folks. So, there was so much happening with the trades and, and the Sanders thing. And, it was, I took a minute. I said, wait a minute. After all the dust settled, I want to look at what's going on for next year in the draft. And I'll tell you what, folks, after all the trades, listen to this. So, not only do we have our own picks from rounds 1 through 5, we also have the extra first-round pick from Jacksonville. We've got a 6th-round pick from Detroit, and then 2 7th-round picks, one from Buffalo and then one from Seattle. And these are from all just different trades, not just this year, but over the last couple of years. And so you got a lot of options, folks, when that draft starts. When you add it up, you're looking at 9 picks. And 2 in the first round. And then you'll have a 2nd round and a 3rd round. So there is an opportunity for the Browns to really, let's see what happens with this season. And then going into that draft next season, no matter what, you're going to get some pieces to help your team going forward. So let's just hope it all works out, folks. This is Cleveland. So we can only hope for the best. But that is something that to have 2 first-round picks after having, we had the one this year, but geez, oh man, after going so long after the Watson debacle, to have these first-round picks back is going to be huge. Okay, that is going to do it for today's show. Thanks for stopping by. If you can, please like the episode, subscribe, and let me know what you think. If you think I'm nuts for thinking Amari Cooper should come back here, let me know. I can take it. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.